Hi, my name is Kyla, and welcome to the Fisher News Show.
I'm Taylor Wilkins, and we have a lot of great stories for you this month. Sidney discusses crossbreed pets.
Lewis tells us about the dab, and JT goes into the history of Bromley Mountain.
Owen sits down with resident Star Wars expert Mr. C to talk about Rogue One Easter eggs.
Taylor will be talking with Trooper Wayne Godfrey and his canine assistant Tarwa. And I meet with the reading dog and his handler that Miss Cisco brought in.
First, let's go to Sidney and learn about crossbreed pets.
Have you ever looked at a picture of a crossbreed animal on Pinterest or Facebook? Well, here are some of the most popular ones. Hi, I'm Sidney Harrington, and today I'm going to be talking about crossbreed animals. The first one we are going to talk about is a cockapoo. A cockapoo is an old hybrid. It has been popular since the 1960s. These intelligent dogs were a happy incident. Now here is one that you will find in a magazine. Maltese Poo. This is often found in a magazine or designer clothes. This dog mostly stays small. Now here's a little nip for you about cats. Maine Coon cats are the largest domestic cat breed. The male can weigh up to 18 pounds. Now for a more exotic cat, the exotic short hair cat. The exotic short hair is similar to the person in many ways, including temper tantrums, and conformation. That is my story for today. Back to the news desk.
Thanks, Sidney, for that magnificent story.
Now let's go over to Lewis, who tells us what the dab really is.
Hi, I'm Lewis. Have you ever wondered about the dab? There's a lot of dabbing going in the hallway, middle of class, and when you get good grades. What is the dab? Where did it come from? According to Sports Illustrated, the person who brought the dab worldwide was named Cam Newton. He plays football for the North Carolina Panthers. When he scored a touchdown, he would dab. The dab is where you put one elbow in and the other sticks out. After that, the dab went worldwide. But Cam Newton did not create the dab. The dab was first created by a rap group named the Migos in 2009. Newton made it famous. Why do people do the dab? They dab when they score or to act cool. Some athletes do and don't. There is the history of the dab, and I'm Lewis Douglas, and I'm dabbing off.
That was interesting, Lewis. Thanks. Now JT takes us back in history at Bromley Ski Area.
Here we go, all right. So this is round one. It's on, don't worry. This is Kyle ahead of me. You might see him wipe out a few times. Nothing. Yeah, it's very bumpy here because we just got a bunch of snow here in Peru. So for Christopher, this is the first time being on quad on a snowboard. He used to ski. Kyle, you want to see that on camera? Ooh, it's windy. It is really windy. So you can barely hear me. That's because it's really windy, so it may be kind of muffled. I'm are practically shouting right now. And then you go over there. And now you're out of round one. Oh, we got that! Yep. Now we are heading into the lower throughway, and Plaza is right there. View of Bromley. It's very foggy, so you can't exactly see anything. But you can see these buildings, certainly. Now, our trip comes to an end. I'm JT Wright from Fisher School News. And now we go back to the news desk.
Thanks, JT. That's great to know about Bromley. Now we go to Owen and Mr. C, who are in a galaxy far, far away.
Hi, I'm Owen Emmons, and we're going to be talking about some Easter eggs. By the way, this is Mr. Cummings. And for the new Star Wars movie, Rogue One, spoilers. Lots, and lots of spoilers. So
I want to know first what you thought of the film, because we've done this
Right,
episode once
yes.
before, this segment. What did you think of Rogue One?
I thought it was good. Not my favorite, but good. I liked it.
So it definitely had a very different feel to it, right?
Right,
The other Star Wars movies all have sort of a lot more humor, I think, in it, and this one was
Yeah.
really, really dark.
Yeah.
I mean, again, spoiler alert. Nobody survives the movie.
Right.
All of the main characters that you
big
love
boom, big boom, boom,
die
boom.
at the end.
Yeah.
So that's
Death laser.
that's definitely that's out of practice for most
Right.
Star Wars movies, which is pretty huge. And you had mentioned Easter eggs.
Right.
Did you notice any when you were watching it the first time?
I did not know.
So-
There wasn't any big ones. Did you?
Yeah, I did, but
Really?
I also saw like the original movies close to when they came out. So one of the famous ones that I noticed was, and it's all over. It's always all over the internet. You know, so Luke Skywalker, whiny
Right,
kid on
yeah, yeah,
Tatooine.
yeah.
Well, Aunt Beru served him in A New Hope this glass of either blue or green milk, and for some reason, like the internet just thought that was hilarious. Well, in one of the opening shots in the movie, they zoomed in briefly on a jug of green milk, and so it was one of those, because the next movie after Rogue One is A New Hope. So it's like, which was the original movie that came out in 1977. So it was kind of a funny tie into that. And there were lots of little things, like the helmets were the same. They did a really good job with the costumes and stuff. But the green milk was kind of a funny one that I was watching it with my wife Michelle, and I'm like, oh, green milk, did you see that? And she's kind of like, okay, So next time you watch A New Hope, when Aunt Beru is pouring that stuff for Luke, notice that, and then you'll see like the cameraman in Rogue One zooms in on it for a second and then moves on. So that was kind of a cool Easter egg. There were a lot of droids that showed up that were kind of, I don't know if you would call those Easter eggs or just reoccurring, but there's, the little, it's like a little black droid on 4 wheels, and I think in Empire
Mouse
Strikes
droid.
Back. Yeah, the mouse droid, exactly. Chewbacca scares it and it beeps and runs away. So that made an appearance again.
Right, yeah.
Which was cool. They did the Princess Leia like turn, and you get to see her as a young person again. So
I like the very end where the hallway went dark and Darth Vader had his, like, just the glow of his red lightsaber. That was really cool.
Yeah, and I think in the original, again, in A New Hope, which is this is leading up to, Darth Vader was sort of the slow, lumbering character. Yes, he's the big bad guy, but he wasn't like all that ferocious. But we got to see that sort of at the end of Rogue One. Like he stepped out of that ship and just started cutting people down, and it's like, okay, so that's what a bad guy is supposed to be like.
Right. Yeah.
One of the things I thought was cool was it brought the movie right to, the very next scene of A New Hope. It's you see that ship departing, because that was one of the things I was wondering was how far will that gap be? But boy, they brought it right up to that minute, which was super cool.
What was your favorite part of the movie, anyway?
So when the trailer first came out, I looked at the guy who appeared to be blind and had a staff.
Right.
And the actor's name is Donnie Yen. So I was like, oh, this guy looks pretty cool. And I'm a nerd for bow staffs. I think they're really neat. That's why I love Darth Maul, because the double-bladed lightsaber. So I looked him up, and he is a amazing martial artist, and I think it's called Wing Chun style of martial arts. I had never heard of it before. Thank you, Wikipedia. But he is a prolific actor in China and has done all of these incredible martial art movies where he does all of his own acting, all of his own stunts and stuff. So when I saw him in it, I was like, oh, this is going to be cool. And then I started, looking at what he did. I think the thing that I liked most about it was that it was very dark and gritty.
Right.
I was really worried when Disney bought the franchise that it was going to go cartoony, kind of the way Pirates of the Caribbean did. Pirates of the Caribbean started out pretty cool, and then it got just super cheesy.
Right, yeah.
And I wanted Star Wars to be something where you really care about the characters and you really hate the bad guys and you like the good guys, and and they did a really good job with Rogue One. What about you? What was your favorite part?
My favorite part was when they shot to test out the Death Star.
Yep.
They shot it at the city.
Yeah.
And they had this big, like, tidal wave-ish kind of thing of earth and ground and rock.
Yep.
And they had to escape it without getting crushed.
Yeah, or decide to stay. Right. Yeah. And that was one of those cases, I think, after the original, it gets confusing now, but episode 1, 2, and 3, so Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, and Revenge of the Sith, those were so CG intensive. They were shot exclusively on green screens, that everybody wanted that like real kind of texture back. And I also think the technology's got better, but like that scene was really good. It was obviously computer generated, but it looked good. It looked, I believed that I was sitting there watching this planet start to explode. It wasn't that like over computerized kind of look. So I thought that was pretty cool.
So the Knights of Ren, people thought that the main group of heroes were going to become the Knights of Ren. That can't happen.
Yeah, my impression is that the Knights of Ren are a group of bad guys.
Right. Yeah.
That and I think in Force Awakens we see a couple of scenes as like flashbacks where Kylo is standing there with a group of people around him, not necessarily lightsaber people. And there's a whole bunch of dead bodies everywhere. Right. So my guess is that the Knights of Ren are like his personal body squad, his SS squad, or something like that. So let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
And I think we've talked about this before. Yeah. Darth Maul, double-bladed lightsaber, a crowd favorite, right? George Lucas killed him off way too early, but everybody was like, oh my God, double-bladed lightsaber, that's awesome. What do you think are the chances that, what's her name? That Rey is going to build herself, for whatever reason, a double-bladed lightsaber? If you look in the movie, she's carrying a staff around a lot, like just a big wooden stick, and she uses it to chase away the guy from BB-8 and stuff. So now she's got Luke's handle, Luke's lightsaber with the crystal and everything in it. I want so badly for her to take that and have some Jedi person turn that into a double-edged lightsaber. I think it would be so awesome to see that come back as a green one on the side of light. Would be pretty awesome.
when you started talking about double-bladed, I thought you were going into the Kylo Ren's lightsaber. I do, but do you know why he has those two extra little
I
things
don't.
out?
As someone who's done some fencing before and am generally interested in history, I can't imagine how you would not cut your own hand off of that. However, it's a science fiction movie. So I'm willing to say, okay, you know what? Not everything in this is going to work. I can suspend and just accept it for now.
Right,
So,
yeah.
What did you think? What do you
So
think?
I have done research on this kind of thing, and I found out his kyber crystal, the thing that powers it, is cracked. So it's letting out too much energy, so he has to vent it out of the sides.
So that's very interesting, because if you think about him from a point of view of like literature and character, think about all the temper tantrums that dude has. He is like the most toddler type bad guy, right? So if you think of it, that's kind of a good metaphor for his personality.
yeah.
You know, like he gets told that they lost the BB-8 unit, and he just like slashes up the console, and then the two stormtroopers sort of stop and like back up and walk away. So that's a pretty interesting theory. I haven't heard that, but that would fit with his character arc really, really well. So yeah.
So this is my last year on the news, and obviously going to be our last Star Wars show. So I wanted to ask you, what's your favorite Star Wars movie?
Oh God. I think I love the opening for Phantom Menace. I know that's not a popular movie, and I don't think I like certainly once they get Jar Jar Binks in there, forget it. But the beginning of it, because I've been like 15 or 20 years, and I wanted to see some Jedi other than Luke Skywalker. So to see Obi-Wan Kenobi and Qui-Gon Jinn and see like these Jedi as these mystic magicians, it was so cool.
Jerry Baker, please come to the main office.
Thank you.
So that and the droid army, and that the first like 15 minutes I thought was really, really good. So that ranks up there. Empire Strikes Back, the Hoth scene ranks up there. So if I had to pick a favorite movie, I think I'd go with Empire. But all of Empire, I start to get bored toward the end. So I would say there's sort of parts and pieces of each.
I like the one with General Grievous and where General Grievous got killed by Obi-Wan Kenobi.
And again, I think that would have been General Grievous was cool. I think he was too computer generated, and they could have, if they had Darth Maul there, and that was the Darth Maul scene, that would have been cool. But it is what it is. I don't think they're going to go back and remake the prequels anytime soon.
Favorite character, least favorite character, aside from Jar Jar Binks.
Oh, okay, that's a lot harder. So favorite character, Hans.
Jerry Baker, please come to the main office.
Thank you.
It's not overly creative, but Han Solo is one of the greatest characters of all time. It's just that swashbuckling, starts out as a bad guy, but he's got a good heart. Chewbacca, actually, I gotta say Chewbacca. Chewbacca is one of my favorite dudes. He has no lines. He has no legible conversation, but you know what he's thinking, you know what he's feeling, and he's a big, hardcore, bad dude. I kind of picture him as like the biker gang sort of version of a Star Wars character.
Right.
So he would be my favorite.
Okay.
Least favorite, if I can't go with Jar Jar Binks, I'm going to go with the Gungan population. What was the dude's name? Boss Nass. He was the big fat like frog-looking dude. Super annoying. Least favorite, without a doubt. What about you?
My favorite character was General Grievous, is General Grievous. True, I think he's too computer generated, but I love how he has the four lightsabers, and they're not all red like most Siths. He gets them from killing Jedis.
Yep. The concept of him was very cool. I guess I wished for a little less robot and a little more. If he had been more alien, I think I would have been into it more. But I got you. So sorry. Continue.
Least favorite, please don't hate me. Luke Skywalker.
I don't hate you at all. As a matter of fact, I'm completely on. I don't disagree with that at all.
great Jedi Master Yoda tells you, don't go there. It will ruin your training.
You go there.
He goes there,
Yep.
and he just seems to make some really bad, unrational choices.
He's kind of whiny. He doesn't seem all that powerful, even when he does finally defeat Vader and Palpatine.
Right.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
Yeah.
But Uncle Owen, I was going to Tashi Station to pick up some power converters. Like, whiniest line in the history of cinema, you know? So, yeah. So, before we go,
Yes.
because I know we could talk for hours and hours, I'm going to ask you a question. There's two more spin-off movies coming out like Rogue One. There's a Han Solo movie coming out with a backstory, and a Boba Fett movie coming out with a backstory, which will logically sort of follow. What's the one that you want to see that they're not making? And by the way, do you know that the new Episode 8 they just announced was going to be called The Last Jedi? So you are now in creative control of the Star Wars franchise. What's the one movie you make that hasn't been made yet?
I would say more of a background on Uncle Owen.
Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru.
More of a background on Qui-Gon Jinn.
Yeah, that actually would be the one that I would say. He was one of those guys. Liam Neeson's an awesome actor. The character himself was awesome. He like that wise old sort of dude, and he died way too early. So it'd be nice to know. And you know, there's a whole theory about him and Anakin's mother. Like supposedly there's like some tension between them, where maybe they have a little crush on each other or something. So like, are the Jedi really like, you know, are they able to just completely focus on the task at hand? Anakin obviously fell in love with Padme, and that caused some problems. So yeah, I would go with you on that. Cool.
Well, that's the show. I love this. This is one of my favorite newses that I've ever done. But it's over now. Back to the news desk.
Thanks, guys. You clearly know your Star Wars.
Next, I meet with Trooper Wayne Godfrey and his dog Tarwa. Hi, I'm Taylor, and today I'm here with Trooper Wayne Godfrey and his police dog Tarwa. They work for the Vermont State Police out of the Shaftesbury Barracks. Thanks for coming, Trooper Godfrey and Tarwa.
Thank you for having me.
So, Trooper Godfrey, when you were a kid, was it actually your dream job to be a policeman?
Yes, it was. That's all I wanted to do.
Do you enjoy your job as a state trooper?
Very much so. I get to go to work and work with my partner Tarwa every day.
What does it take to be a trooper, and how is it different from a sheriff?
Well, just like any job, starting off from getting good grades in school, being respectful, and just achieving your goals throughout your life, and just setting a goal to become a trooper is all you really need. And with it regarding to the Sheriff's Department, we go through the same academy, same classes, same training, so it's just a different uniform.
What's Tarwa's job?
So Tarwa's main job as a police canine is he's a locating tool. He assists myself and other troopers with locating either drugs, lost people, or evidence, and also protect you or I when the need is for him to do so.
What things can Tarwa do that a person can't?
Not that people can't do it, but his sense of smell is much better than ours, so he can find drugs just by using his nose, or he can track people just by using his nose. So where we might be looking for footprints, Tarwa's looking for scent, so he can track someone not knowing where they were earlier just by their scent.
Do you think Tarwa likes or dislikes being a police dog?
He loves it because everything that we do together is fun. We go to work, he gets to play, he gets to interact. Sometimes he gets some treats when he's good, but for the most part, it's all play for him. There's nothing that I've found so far in the past 6 years of having Tarwa that he does not really like doing.
How long have you and Tarwa been with the state police?
Even though Tarwa's 7 years old, I got him when he was a year and a week old. The following week we went through drug school, and then that summer we went through patrol school. So total we've been together for 6 years now.
What do you do, or what would you like to do when you're not on call?
Tarwa and I, we love going out hiking, going for walks, and Tarwa just likes to be a dog. He loves to play fetch, and he would literally fetch his ball until my shoulder would fall out of socket. He drives me crazy when I'm outside trying to mow the lawn. He drops his toy directly in front of my lawnmower. When I'm trying to sit down to watch TV, he drops it in my lap. So Tarwa's biggest thing is just to have fun and play and just interact with me. Tarwa loves to please, whether it be me or you, and just have a good time. And that's what makes him such a good police officer. He just wants to help and have a good time with people.
Nice. Before you leave, could you do a demonstration with Tarwa in action?
We can give it a whirl. Tarwa. Tarwa seats. Tarwa spread. Good boy. Tarwa shake. Oh, go boy. Who's a good boy? So those are some of the little things that Tarwa does just for fun. Tarwa seats. Tarwa seats. Good boy. Tarwa Blythe. How was that?
Nice.
Alrighty. I want to thank you for having me come in today.
Well, thanks Trooper Godfrey and Tarwa for letting me ask you these questions. Have a nice day, and back to the news desk.
Thanks, Taylor. I sat down with Miss Cisco and the Vermont Reading Therapy Dog. Hi, my name is Carla. Today I will be asking questions with Larry, and he brings a reading dog, and people read to him. So let me ask him questions. How old is Nala?
Well, we don't know her certain age for sure, but when we got her 5 years ago, the veterinary had estimated her at 3 because she was rescued from the Humane Society. So she's about 8, approximately 8.
Where'd you get Nala from?
We got her from the Rutland County Humane Society because we fostered dogs for 30 days when dogs had an illness or needed to be away from other animals, and she had no hair on her. She was 20 pounds lighter, skin and bones. She was living out in the streets of Pittsburgh in the dead of winter by herself, just scrounging for food, and we took her in for a 30-day period, and we adopted her.
Do you bring her anywhere else instead of schools?
We have in the past brought her to nursing homes.
What does she do here at Fisher?
She comes to the class with Katie, and she goes around and people read to her. Quite a few your classmates in here, and I think including you, have read to her before. And she'll sit there and listen, and they can pet her, and she'll listen while you read.
Why did you start?
Oh, why did we do it? Well, another reason was because I'm semi-retired. I'm older now, and I work not 40 hours a week, so this kind of fills out my time, and it serves the communities. It serves the schools and helps people.
Was she your only dog that you have done it before with the therapy?
Yeah, it's the only time we've done it. Nala, up, watch, up, come on, get up, come on, up. So she's kind of a large lap dog. But I don't let her jump on everybody's lap, just mine. Okay, up.
Thank you guys for watching. Back to the news desk.
From all of us at the news show, thanks for joining us this month. I'm Taylor Wilkins.
And I'm Kyla Millett. And have a great month.